these mics are on.
Yeah, I think they're on.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, here, let me pass through it. Yep, they're on.
I definitely heard that. Okay,
yeah,
all right.
Yeah, you were supposed to. Mm-hmm.
Oh, good. Okay. And I checked all the offices. I didn't see anybody. Didn't see
Okay.
a single living person.
No breathers. We're totally
No
on our own
breathers
today.
on the premises of National Public Broadcasting.
Great. You want to start us off?
Welcome to the very first episode of Unfinished Business, the podcast where we teach you how to live your best afterlife. I'm your host, Leona P. Wellington, and I died a little overcaffeinated.
I'm Charles B. Morse IV, and I died a little drunk. Some listeners may remember me from my infamous radio program, Morse Code. It aired on NBC from 1938 to 1951.
Wow. We all know Morse code, or at least we know you talking about Morse code, right?
Well, for me, it was very important.
It was?
It was my life's work, and tragically, it was cut short.
Yeah. You died at the height of your career. And in the spirit of this being a self-help podcast, I guess there's no use being shamed or feeling embarrassed, but I spent every waking moment on my time on Earth like yearning desperately to make a hit podcast. And instead, I just died a wee coffee maker.
And that's okay. Everyone dies eventually. You just died more recently.
I did.
And now we're here together making a podcast, whatever that is, and I'm going to help you achieve your dreams.
Thanks, Morse. I think that, we should welcome our first guest. Our very first guest on Unfinished Business is Betty Adler. And let me tell you, she is a real ghost's ghost, if you know what I mean. When she isn't busy haunting the racks of Saks Fifth Avenue, searching for that perfect spunky hat, she is offering sage advice to the newly dead. And Morse, I know you two go way back.
We do. We knew each other when we were alive, if you can believe that.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Betty, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to our listeners?
Is it my turn to talk now?
Please.
Welcome to the podcast, Betty.
Thank you both so much for having me. I'm so excited to help other ghosts in need.
Tell us more about that. Do ghosts pay you for your services, your orientation?
Sometimes people offer, but to be honest, I do it because it's rewarding. It makes me feel good that I'm helping others. And in some ways, I can't help but keep my mouth running, Like, in some ways, I just can't help myself.
Betty. Yeah, I don't know. Just thinking back to that first day we met, I was in an alley crying, but it was also a really confusing experience because I was crying ghost tears.
Yeah, ghost crying is a new experience for many.
They just float, it just kind of comes off your skin and floats away. And truly, I just saw you. You were just the most beautiful, striking ghost. You had this gorgeous fur coat, and
That's what I died in.
Yeah.
And the
good,
hat.
Good. Oh my God.
Thank goodness I died in that hat. Can I just say that?
Oh.
Thank the afterlife that I died in that hat.
Similar to you, Betty, I am so glad that I died well-dressed. I was on my way to the theater with my second favorite mistress at the time, but sadly I didn't have my hat with me.
Well, it sounds like maybe one of your other mistresses had it?
No comment there.
Wow. Oh, man, I'm real jealous of you two. Yeah, it was laundry day for me. My socks don't even match. I'm destined to the afterlife with these mismatched socks and I don't know.
I could have died wearing my work clothes, and if I had done that, afterlife helped me.
Wait, a society lady like you worked?
Well, Morse knows, but I moonlit.
Oh.
I moonlit.
Tell us more.
Well, sometimes high society life did get a little drab. And I needed my spending money. My husband wasn't going to give me much of an allowance. And sometimes you need to find a way to make a couple bucks on the side.
Oh.
I think Betty here is being modest.
Listen, I can't help that the bowling alley is where I felt most at home, especially, with all my hats and things. You put your hair up, everyone doesn't know that you're doing unladylike things where ladies aren't allowed.
I was thinking the cabaret.
Oh, no, honey, I was a bowling pin setter. We didn't have those automatic things you have
Oh.
now. I had to get down and dirty with the grease and set those
Ooh.
pins up for those dirty men.
You were just setting up pins is all you were setting up.
Well, would you want to walk all the way down and set them back up yourself? No, you're going to pay someone for that.
You know, I never really thought about that.
Oh, yeah, it was a job for sure. It didn't pay great, but they would give me a couple bucks at the end of the day, and that would pay for my, shopping.
So let me get this straight. You were a society lady, but you were also, you would go and grease up these pins for these greasy bowling men. What else was going on with your time as a bowler?
A lady never tells, per se. I certainly liked to grease the pins at the bowling alley, if you know what I mean. I also liked to grease the pins at my husband's office. I also liked to grease the pins at my husband's gentleman's lunch club. You could just say I liked greasing pins everywhere.
You know, I didn't realize bowling was that popular back in the day.
Oh, it wasn't.
Everyone loves balls.
Everyone loves to bowl. Did you ever bowl in the back of a town car?
Oh, I've bowled. Morse, you know I've bowled
I
in the
know.
back of a town
I know.
car.
I think
What
something.
journalist would I be if I didn't ask?
Oh, Morse is a great journalist. He's done a lot of digging. I'm pretty sure he's found all of the men I've ever gone bowling with, if you know what I mean.
Sounds like
You
maybe
don't
you
have a
do.
syndicated show on NBC for 14 years if you're not good at your job.
And I was good at my job. Bowling. And it was so much more exciting than sitting in my giant Fifth Avenue apartment. How
So-
boring it was to have a giant Fifth Avenue apartment.
I just want to get this straight. You had this beautiful Fifth Avenue apartment. I'm just picturing, you tell me if I'm like wood everywhere, a fireplace, doorman, all
Alcohol galore.
I mean, so
Very
you were-
fancy paintings. Mm-hmm.
So then you were like, what do I do for my money to buy my hats? Bowling. Okay.
I mean, listen, my husband did give me an allowance, but a lady's gotta live. I always say that, except for now when I'm dead. A lady's gotta live until she dies.
And you really did live.
Yeah.
Oh,
Sounds like
I
you lived. Yeah.
I lived.
Did you ever meet any celebrities or famous people?
I was once pretty sure I saw Cary Grant walking down the street with his second favorite mistress, but you didn't hear that from me.
Cary Grant had a mistress?
I mean, at least two.
Almost certainly.
America's Family Man, Cary Grant.
Well, you could get away with a lot more in those days, you know?
Yeah, no Instagram.
Yeah, you couldn't
No
track
TikTok.
someone's location. And let's be honest, it was a different time.
The only thing you couldn't do was play pinball, honestly. That was still illegal.
When did they invent pinball?
Pinball's been around since I was a
A
tot. Yeah, a tot.
So, Betty, did you always embrace being a ghost?
That's an excellent question. I think at first I was angry.
Yeah, I'd be.
I was
am.
angry.
I was. Yeah.
I was angry at my murderer. I was angry at my husband. I was definitely angry that I didn't die with all of my hats.
Mm-hmm. You had an extensive collection.
You were lucky, though, because you died right after going to Saks. You had all those bags with you.
So I do carry around a change of outfit every now and again.
Yeah.
Although I've to be honest, I mean don't clap for me, but I've given a lot of them away to those ghosts in need.
Yeah.
Growing up with a lot of money in New York, you learn that philanthropy is an important part of both life and afterlife.
Speaking of philanthropy, what inspired you to help ghosts transition into the afterlife?
I think it was a day I was haunting the southwest corner of Central Park. It was evening time, just a few breathers walking around. And I saw a ghost all by herself. She was all by herself, and she was looking so longingly at these breathers, and I thought to myself, you have to live in the now. And I think seeing ghosts looking backward is what makes me so upset. I want ghosts to look forward.
Mm-hmm. You have so much ahead of you.
The afterlife is extensive if you let it be.
Mm-hmm. That's actually a great segue, because the whole reason we all are here, as ghosts I mean, is because there's something keeping us tethered to this realm. So when you meet a new ghost, what do you ask them? How do you phrase it?
I like to ask ghosts, what are you looking for?
Oh. It's a good question. What are you looking for, Betty?
I think I'm just looking for fun.
Oh.
I've always been looking for
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
I could never be just a proper lady on Fifth Avenue. I always had to break through and find some fun. And I think maybe I never found all the fun I was looking for.
Oh.
Too many boundaries on women back then.
Too true.
As a ghost, I can spread my wings and have all the fun I want out in the open. Betty Adler is done tucking her hair up into a hat and hiding in a bowling alley.
Yeah, I mean, I can't even imagine you as a shrinking violet. Like, you're generous in spirit. You welcome people into the ghost world, but also you just are known for throwing these, like, ragers. Every single year on the day that you've died, you've thrown, like, a massive, massive rager. I'm newly dead. I've heard the rumors. Apparently 1989 was, like, a huge year. Like,
And Y2K was pretty big, too.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
what's it like throwing a ghost rager? What happens at these ragers? Like, where do you do it?
Oh, well, every year you have to have a theme, especially because for the newly dead, it's something to look forward to. Like I said, a lot of ghosts are looking backward, and I like giving ghosts something to look forward to every year.
I think it's great you do it on the day that you died. For so many people, they get glum and depressed, but you're like, nah, bring on the party.
For me, it's all about celebrating afterlife and just having fun and bringing people together, getting loose, you know?
Uh-huh.
I do wish we could play music, of course.
That's true. But the dancers?
Oh, yeah, you just
my
have to hear them
God.
going, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Sometimes, if we're lucky, a ghost will come that died holding a musical instrument.
Oh,
like-
Timmy.
Oh,
Timmy.
with the tambourine? He's the tambourine?
Timmy the tambourine, that's what we call him.
Yeah.
Yeah, every once in a while I can get a band together, but, you know.
I heard a rumor that you had like 100 Rockettes at one of these parties.
I do collect dead Rockettes.
As friends?
Yes. Let's go with friends.
Morse, don't reveal all of my secrets.
Oh.
That was actually a very difficult party to plan because I had to get them all in one place.
Yeah.
You'd think Rockettes were used to being organized because they dance in such perfect unison, but once they're dead, they go every which
You
direction.
think the leg thing would be pretty, left, right, left.
Yes, I mean, some of the Rockettes, if they died at their kicking age, are still very much in their prime, but, some of them died when they weren't really able to kick anymore. Sorry,
boy.
Rhonda. No, Rhonda's cool. Rhonda and I go way back.
Nice. Wow. We should, Morris, maybe Rhonda for a future guest.
Oh,
yeah.
I could definitely get you in touch with Rhonda the Rockette.
Man, she'd be great.
That'd be a great get.
Louis Armstrong was there one time, like with his horn.
It's a shame he's no longer a ghost, but he
Yeah.
promised he would do at least one of my ragers before he did. That Louis.
That's nice. That's
Last
nice.
year's party was fantastic. It was...
Oh, thank you.
You went old school with it, which I really liked. It gave me a time to really feel like we were back in the 40s.
That was the theme was 1940s, not yet the war.
Mm-hmm.
That's what we called it. It was 1940s, not yet the war. And so it was a really great time. We were post-Great Depression, but pre-Second World War. And so the idea was everyone should just be really happy and not think about anything bad.
Wow.
It was difficult because the band was that band from the Titanic.
Exactly.
Oh my God, you got the Titanic band?
The Titanic Boys.
The Titanic Boys.
They're very popular.
Wow.
Yeah, they're a hard get, I have to say.
Yeah. They haunted MSG last month, right? Damn. Wow, that's a great get. Yeah. You're like a regular old Anna Wintour doing the the Met Gala every year.
Oh, yeah, and I've still got more to give. Until every ghost has had fun at one of my parties, I'm gonna stick around.
Does that ever make you nervous? Like, oh, is this party gonna be my last party? We're gonna have so much fun that you're just gonna poof, you've done all your happy haunting.
I've thought about it. I've definitely thought about it. But if that happens, I think I'll be okay. That's why everyone is a blowout. I throw every rager like it's my last rager.
That's a good way to put it. Welcome back, listeners. It's now time for a segment that we are calling Ghost Writer.
You've got mail.
In this segment, we are answering questions from you, our listeners. And boy, oh boy, is our mailbag full. You have written in all of these different questions of how we can become the best ghosts we can possibly be in the afterlife. Morse, will you start us off with our first question?
Our first question comes to us from May in New York, New York. She writes, as someone who's new to the poltergeist game, I'm struggling to find my signature sound. I've tried rattling chains, whistling kettles, and all kinds of screams, but nothing feels like me. Do you have any tips?
I'm still figuring it out too, May. That's why I'm not giving out advice on this one.
I'm happy to share mine. I
Yeah,
can kick things off.
yeah.
For me, it was easy. I was a bit of a lush when I was alive, and I died drinking Tennessee whiskey. So I like to make the sound of a ice cube in a glass. Anywhere that has a good bar, I can usually, make that clinking sound, which, that always just felt right to me. How about you, Betty?
Oh, I just like a good old-fashioned scream, to be honest.
Oh.
So my advice for people is always go with just the most classic, tried and true ghost sounds. A little ooh, something like that. I think we don't mess with success. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
It could be that May's overthinking this.
Yeah, probably. I know I've overthought it. Betty, I would love to hear your scream.
I try to go with a very feminine scream, but I feel like there's a big range. For me, it's all about, ah! Like you really want the person to know that you're screaming, but also kind of enjoying it.
What was it again?
I have a lot of screams, but I think my go-to is a little bit something like this. Ah! Get a little vibrato on the end.
Oh, that's nice. Take notes, listeners. Take notes.
I think it's good that you're sharing with May that you also haven't found your sound. May, you're not alone.
Our next question is from Adeline in Riverside, California. Adeline says, I've been haunting the house where I died for 86 years now and feel like I need to make a change, but don't know if it's me or the house. How do you know when it's time to haunt a new location?
First, Adeline, just want to recognize the commitment to the bit. You committed to the bit 86 years.
That's
one
probably
house.
2 to 3 generations of hauntees.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if they're renters, it could be like
Oh, yeah.
1,000 of people.
I don't know much about Riverside, California. I've never hovered all the way across the country.
I went there once. I got Thai food. It was good Thai food.
Oh.
Yeah.
Being a ghost, there's a gravity. I think you're often pulled back to a location that was important to you. That's why I'm here. This building, this office building where NPB, National Public Broadcasting, is located, used to be a theater before it was torn down. It was the theater I was going to with my second favorite mistress. That's why I return here, because I never got to see the show. It sounds like, Betty, you return to Saks, even if you go down to Brooklyn or the other outer boroughs.
I do spend a lot of time at Saks, I do, but I also feel the need to get out and about sometimes. Though I would never go to Staten Island or something like that. Imagine the gossip.
I know for me, again, I'm new at the game, but I like to be a transient ghost. I've been just kind of wandering all over New York, all over Brooklyn. Sometimes I went to New Jersey the other day, actually, yeah.
Heavens.
It was hard to get over the water. That was tricky. Not a pleasant
Did you wait for a
experience.
ferry, or did you try to levitate on your own?
I was trying to levitate on my own.
That's ambitious.
It was a hard idea. it took a lot of energy. After that trip, I just hung out in the ferry terminal for a little bit. But like, I think for me, it's good to see, life is happening. It's nice to kind of people watch, see what people are wearing, see what people are doing.
We have time. I spent most of the 70s haunting Columbia University.
That must have been fun.
Oh, it was.
Attaboy, Morse.
Wow.
And I also like to visit McSorley's Ale House. But again, I feel the draw of home of this office block.
These are good points. These are really good points. I'd say, Adeline, just check it out. Just wander about. You'll find where you need to go.
This one comes to us from Cecil in Chicago, Illinois. Cecil wants to know, do you have any tips for haunting in the digital age? Seems like people only want to look at their glowing screens these days. I can't get them to look at the blood dripping from the ceiling even for a second.
Ooh, well, Cecil, thank you. I think as the Gen Zer here, this one's for me. I think you have to haunt their phones. And you could do that in a few ways. What I've been really enjoying, actually, is getting into someone's autocorrect. like you think that, it's just like an iPhone thing. They don't want you to say fuck. It's me. I'm correcting it to say duck. And I love when someone's like really, really pissed off. And every single time I'm like, you just had the worst ducking day at work, these mother duckers. It brings me so much joy. I think I laugh about it. They get angry and angrier, which like I'm just trying to make them giggle a little bit, but like whatever. So yeah, haunt their phones. Morse, you were like pretty technically savvy when you were, you had a radio show. Like, as an older ghost, if I can call you that,
That's fine.
Has it been okay haunting the technical age?
Radios were pretty easy to possess. All you really needed to do is just pass through them and they'd crackle. Same with televisions. So it might be a challenge at first to possess an iPad or a computer, but you have to keep up with the times. Yeah. Betty, do you ever try to scare breathers?
Okay, I'm a bit of a prankster. Morse knows I'm a bit of a prankster. I do like to make the human people have to go around looking for stuff sometimes, but mostly I just do it to the handsome fellows who work in the shoe department. Make them bend over and look for something under the couch.
Wow.
Listen, I have my ways, but they're harmless. They're totally harmless. I'm a harmless ghost. I also think if you really want to bother people, do it where they don't have cell phone service. Get underground.
Oh, yeah.
Get into an airplane. Get somewhere where they are stuck sitting for a little bit, because then they'll be forced to pay attention to you.
That's a really good one, yeah. People are always so scared on airplanes anyway. People are stressed out. They're primed to, like, just jump out and yell, like,
Right.
or whatever.
Nothing like a good airplane haunt. Not my personal expertise, but I know some airplane ghosts, and I mean, they say the food is terrible, but the scared people are a hoot.
Oh, Betty, you're a hoot.
I like to say I'm a hoot and a half.
You're a hoot and a half.
I'm a hoot and a half.
You're a hoot and a half.
I think we have time for one more question, and this one comes to us from Diego in Houston, Texas, who says, "Howdy. What's y'all's stance on romances with other ghosts while your partner's still alive? There's a ghost who's caught my eye, but my dear Delilah's still breathing, and it feels too close to cheating. The good book's a bit murky on this, so appreciate your help."
Diego, were you a songwriter? I think you gotta write a song about this, like a good old-fashioned, country music song. I think, Betty, this is a question for you.
Oh, I'm happy to take this one. As someone who's had a bit of a looser definition of following what the good book tells me, I would say there's nothing wrong with moving on with a couple ghosts, Like, if your partner is still alive, I hope that they are moving on too. I think it's so important to make the most of this afterlife and find that ghost that will, I don't know, help you finish your business, if you know what I mean.
I feel like if Delilah is also dating around, Diego, I think it's fair game for you to, date around. I mean, also, it's hard not knowing more about your relationship.
Well, then, my husband and I had a very open agreement. He knew what I was doing.
Wow.
My husband was very aware of my dalliances. As long as it didn't get out and into the papers, he was fine with it. So I think, Diego, what you really need to ask yourself is, if Delilah suddenly died tomorrow and showed up, how would she feel about it? Now, we can't be sure Delilah would become a ghost, of course.
Yes.
But just, I think that's a good rule of thumb, is if Delilah showed up tomorrow, is she going to be a little upset that you've been ghosting around with another ghost?
Here's the real question, though, because we can't assume anything about Diego or Delilah. What if Delilah isn't moving on?
Well, if that's the case, then from what I hear, Betty is still the right ghost to answer this question, because I've heard some rumors. You've had some, consensual experiences with some humans. What's going on there?
When you've been a ghost as long as I have, you'll find that you still have needs to be touched. I have found that with a lot of practice, you can make contact with people. It's very important to make sure they're willing. I have found some consenting breathers who are particularly interested in ghost contact, and well, if they contact me, I'm going to contact them. You know what I'm saying?
Wow. I want to know more, but I think we're going to have to keep that behind the paywall. Diego, thank you for writing in, and that's all the questions we have time for today, listeners. If you need help adjusting to the afterlife, or if you just want us to answer your questions, please email us at unfinishedbizpod@gmail.com. That's unfinishedbizpod@gmail.com.
Thank you for listening to our first episode. If you like what we're doing, please subscribe?
Oh, Charles, I wrote that copy.
Okay.
Subscribing is when you like a podcast and then it shows up in your feed week after week.
In my day, you just turned on the radio.
Yeah, it's a little bit different. It's
Okay,
all right. Podcast world. So follow the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. And while you have your podcasting app out, why not leave us a little review? Write us a review, even if you just want to say boo. We'd love to hear what you think.
Unfinished Business is an independent production and a work of improvised fiction. Stay tuned after the credits for a few outtakes. Any resemblance to real individuals, living or deceased, is purely coincidental. My co-host, Leona P. Wellington, was played by Daniel Roth. Betty Adler was played by Deb Frank. And Morse was played by me, Devin Meller, who executive produces the show. Our music was composed by Edith Mudge, and special thanks to Ruth Morrison, Jennifer Mills, and Fred Dews for patiently listening to early versions of this pilot. We'll be back next week with a new episode, and in the meantime, happy haunting.
We decided she was sexual.
Yeah. It's a suburb, right? An LA suburb, or
All of LA kind of feels like a suburb.
Oh, shots fired. Sorry.
Bowling balls loaded up.
seems like people only want to look at their glowing screens these days.
Doys.
Doys.
These doys.
These doys.
These doys. You've
These
turned
doys.
into an old Jew. His was a fun pin to grease.
I'm just looking at you, buddy. I'm looking at you, and
Carrie? Are you here?
I just want to pin you.